Hi everyone, I'm going to do a video review of the Clean Blend High Performance Blender today. This one is 3 horsepower, 1800 watts. It's a commercial series blender. The nice thing about it is that it's under $200, while similar commercial grade blenders with same or similar specs are between $400 and $500. So I'm going to be making smoothies, pureeing soup, and making ice cream today. So stay tuned and we'll see how it goes. Thanks. So this is everything unpacked. It didn't require any assembly, which was nice. So it comes with an instruction manual, motor base, 2-liter blender jar, lid, filler cap, tamper, spatula, and nut milk bag. So the motor base looks kind of like a Vitamix, which is nice. It's really simple. Has an on-off switch, a variable speed control, and a pulse control. So a nice feature about this is it has an automatic overheat shutoff, so if it does get overheated, it'll automatically shut off and keep the motor from burning out. I've burned out many a blender motor, so that'll be a nice touch. So I'm going to be making a smoothie with this. This is with the container on. I securely put the lid on, hold it down. So in this one I have bananas, pears, spinach, and I use frozen berries instead of ice. So we'll see how it holds up to the frozen berries. Okay, ready? That was really cool. I didn't have to scrape anything down or anything, it just blended everything up. Awesome. Alright, it handles smoothies super easily. Ice cream next. I have a bunch of frozen mango that I've been blending a little bit. I'm using the tamper for this one to keep everything down. So I just done a little bit beforehand because I wanted to just show you the finished product. So you start it at low, you turn it on, and you work your way up. Alright. Ice cream! Just wanted to show you guys the finished product. I ran it through a couple more times. That's mango ice cream right there, and it took like not even 2 minutes to make. I've never made ice cream in a blender before, but that was pretty cool. Alright, here I have a thick lentil and sweet potato soup that I need to puree. Normally if I'm running this through like a food processor or one of my like older, cheaper blenders, I'd have to constantly be scraping down the sides. So we'll see how this holds up. Pretty easy. Here it is in final form. Soup. So I've had a chance to test the Clean Blend out, and so far it's pretty great. It's definitely the most powerful blender I've owned. Doesn't have any trouble with smoothies or pureeing or even making ice cream, which is pretty cool. In addition to how powerful the motor is, I do like how easy the controls are, just on off, and you control the speed with this dial right here. It's really straightforward. One thing I would like to add, because it's so powerful, it blends things much quicker than a regular blender, so definitely keep an eye on things, because it'll be done way sooner than expected. Another thing I would like to add is just because of how fast the motor is, you do need to keep your hand on top, but I feel like that just goes without saying. I mean, I do that with any blender I've used, so just do the same with this one. But so far it's so good. I'll be following up in a couple months, planning on using this on a regular basis, so I'll let you guys know how it's going. Thanks for watching.
I bought this blender because my last blender absolutely sucked for making soup. It's all chunky and there's all these particles everywhere. So I got the clean blend. Instantly, I was impressed. I'm loving how creamy, smooth, and silky it's getting with very little effort. I don't even have it turned on. I wanted to check out the pulsing feature. I'm loving the shape of the blender. It does hold quite a bit. I think it's like 64 ounces. I've turned it up to a higher setting, and that vortex feature, the shape of it is pulling all of the soup back down and getting it mixed up really well. It's not crazy loud. I mean, it's still a blender, so it's making noise, but it's nowhere near as loud as I thought it was going to be. It's not quiet, but it's not obnoxiously loud. churning it up a little more. Yeah, my last blender just could not do this no matter how long I kept it going. I got it for $150, used like new. It clearly had never been used before. It was all wrapped up nice and neat. The box was a little banged up. I think somebody might have just returned it, but let's check it out and see if it did what it needed to do. That is the texture that I wanted, that my cheap blender could not do. And I didn't want to spend all that money on a Vitamix. So yeah, Clean Blend gets 5 stars from me.
So we just made some fresh tomato sauce with thyme and oregano from our garden and basil. And then tomatoes, tomato sauce and sesame seeds. And we put it in the blender for just about, literally probably 10 seconds. And it made a incredibly delicious tomato sauce. So
try it
cool.
so we know it's the real deal.
Pretty good. It's pretty amazing that it seriously the seeds ground up completely, so you can't taste any chunks. Good deal.